Hi guys, and welcome back to Miyuki Crochet. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to crochet this infinity scarf. For this project, you will need yarn. Today I'm using Cozy Wool by Loops and Threads, and you will need approximately 2.5 balls of yarn for this project. You will need a crochet hook. Today I'm using a 10mm hook. You will need a yarn needle. You will need measuring tape, thread, and a needle. If you're new to crochet, please refer to my video how to crochet. If not, let's get started. Chain 85. Alright, now what we're going to do is take your fingers like this, and I always do this to make sure my work isn't twisted. Take your finger like that and just run it along your project, untwisting it. Once you're sure that your chain is not twisted, you're going to insert your crochet hook at the beginning of your foundation chain, and you're going to slip stitch. This is joining the pieces together so you can make a circle scarf. Now what we're going to do is we're going to half double crochet. So we're going to follow where our hook is. So you see our hook is here, we're going to go this way. And for those that are unsure about half double crochet, I do have another video showing in detail how to half double crochet. So I'm going to show you once. Alright, again, here you go like this. You're going to wrap your yarn around, insert your crochet hook. So you have 3 loops on your hook, and then you're going to wrap your yarn over again, and you're going to pull through all 3. Alright, so wrap around, insert your hook, you have 3, wrap around, and then you have 1. So you're going to keep doing that until you get to the end of your chain. When you reach where you started, so the beginning of your foundation chain, remember that the tail is always going to show you where you started off, so you can use it as a marker. So when you get here, you can also take this opportunity, if you notice that your work is actually twisted, to untwist it. By doing that again, just run your fingers along and then realign it, and then if you got here, you could switch it over if you needed to. So this is just so you don't have to undo your work again. If it's fine, just keep going. So when you get to the place where you started, you just half double crochet again. We're going to half double crochet up until the point where we need to attach our second ball of yarn. So just half double crochet until you need to attach your other ball of yarn. If you are using a ball of yarn that does not require you to reattach your yarn, then you can keep going, and then I'll show you how to end off and to put the nice border along your work. Alright, so meet me back when you are at your second ball of yarn. Once you get to the end of your first ball of yarn, you're going to attach your other ball of yarn. There are several ways to do this, and I'm going to show you the way I like to do it. Feel free at this point to do it the way you normally do it. Keeping in mind at the end we're going to secure it, we're going to weave it in with our yarn needle, and we're going to sew on top of it. Alright, so what I do is I take my new yarn, I leave a couple inches of my old yarn like this, and then I take the new one and I put it like this, so I just kind of hold it with my fingers. So now I'm holding 2 pieces of yarn, but I'm pretending it's one. So you see, there's the new piece of yarn and the old piece of yarn. Grab it securely with your fingers. You're going to wrap around, insert your hook as if you normally would, and then don't grab the little tail here. Grab the other one, and then just pull through, and just pull, and then you're going to have these 2 little guys here that you're going to weave in at the end. Alright, so you're going to keep half double crocheting with your new ball of yarn. If you don't have to attach your yarn ball, you can just keep going, and we're going to do this up until we get to our third piece of yarn, so just keep going. Alright, so meet me back. So what I do when I attach my third ball of yarn, it's a little trick that I use to avoid running out of material for the border of your project, is before I attach the third ball of yarn to where I was crocheting to make the scarf wider, I actually go to my foundation chain, which is the bottom, which is the place where it's the tightest, and I'm going to do my border first. This way I guarantee that I won't run out of material, so I can look at my ball and say, Okay, I'm almost at 2.5 and I have enough yarn now to do the border on this side. If I wait to do it this way, I might run out of yarn and then I can't predict how much I'll need. So this is just something that I do to make it a little easier for myself. All right, so what you're gonna do is, again, like again when I showed you before, is that you're gonna grab, to go to your foundation chain, this is like your little tail, and you're gonna take your other piece of yarn that's from the third ball, and you're again going to hold it in your fingers and hold the two like this so that you have both. And now what we're going to do is we're going to single crochet. Alright, so keep single crocheting along your foundation chain, and sometimes it's hard to get your hook in there, but just keep going. And this is going to create a really nice border for your project. So just single crochet until you get to the end, to where you attached your yarn, and you're going to do a slip stitch. So I'll show you when we get closer. So single crochet. When you get back to where you started, and you'll see because you'll have your two pieces of tail, you're going to just slip stitch. You can do about 2 of them if you want. Alright, and then you're going to take your scissors and cut here. Take your scissors and cut, giving yourself enough room to weave it in at the end. Take your crochet hook, pull through, give it a nice little tug. Alright, so now basically what we've done is we've created the border on the project, but we still want to add a couple more inches to the actual scarf. So we're going to attach the yarn and continue as we normally would have. And again, if you have a lot of yarn, and you're not really worried of running out, and you know, you can keep going and you don't have to stop as much as I did. All right, so again, you take your ball of yarn, the new one like this, and then the tail that you're working with like this, you're gonna half double crochet, just wrap it around and then pull through, pulling only the new one through, adjusting with your fingers, knowing that we're gonna go over those again. So we're gonna half double crochet, and we only need about 2.5 balls with this yarn and this hook with this pattern. So you know, I'm just gonna crochet about 2 more full circles, full rows, and then I'm going to do the border as same as before with single crochet. Right, so do that 2 more times. Again, you can add more if you want to make it thicker. You could easily use all 3 balls if you want. It's up to you. All right, meet me back. Once you've done your 2 rows of half double crochet, it's time to also do the border on this side. So once I always use my tail as an indicator where the beginning and end is. So I always consider this like number when I cross it. It's 1, 2, 3. I always use this as an indicator. So now we're just going to single crochet along your work all the way to where you use the tail as your indicator. And this is for the border. If you've noticed, like if you take your scarf and you lay it out and you notice that, you know, it's maybe, you maybe added a couple stitches or whatnot, you could easily just skip a stitch. So you wouldn't crochet in the one here, you would just skip one like this. This will make it a little bit tighter in case you grabbed a few extra stitches. All right, so just single crochet all the way until you reach where you started your single crochets. And then you're going to take your scissors and cut. Once you get to the end, which is where your foundation chain tails are, you just do a slip stitch. And that I find just brings in your work a little bit. If you need to do 2 or 3 to make sure it's even, then go ahead. Take your scissors, cut, pull through. All right, now we're gonna grab our yarn needle, and we're going to weave in all of our ends. Alright, so after we've weaved in all of our ends, we're going to go back with thread and needle. So you should have quite a few of these little guys to weave in. And pretty much for weaving in, just grab whatever you can and make a nice little, see, like that, and just cut it off. Alright, so weave in all your ends. Once you've weaved in all your ends, what you're going to do is go back with thread and needle, and you just want to go from the inside out, and you just want to go back so that you can secure all those loose ends that you cut off. And this is something that I think you should always do for your project, just to ensure that it won't undo. Alright, so you're going to do that to each place where you did any weaving in. Alright, so meet me back. Thank you so much for watching today's tutorial on how to crochet an infinity scarf. If you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below if you'd like to see me do other videos like this one. As always, keep toasty!